So those of you who are still here obviously are folks who know that we've been working on two particularly cumbersome projects. One was rewriting the bylaws, and the other was a listening project. Show of hands, who participated in the listening project? Good deal. That's so good. I want to just recognize someone real quickly. Marla Johnson she kind of spearheaded both of those projects, and they were huge. So if you get a chance, to thank Marla for her dedication and perseverance, because that was a lot of work. As far as the bylaws go, I know that there are other folks who have participated in the writing of bylaws and rewriting and all that. Our hope in doing this was to kind of streamline our 10-page bylaws, and so with the assistance of an attorney, we were able to make it 30 pages. So that was not our intent, but just real quickly, I want to tell you why we found it necessary to go this route. And Marla, you're welcome to jump in anytime if you'd like. First of all, our articles of incorporation that were filed with the Secretary of State expired in 2003, so we've had nothing. Our current bylaws were updated in 2013 and were a little outdated. Several Texas statutes governing organizations were consolidated in 2003, and any updates to an organization's documents filed after 2010 have to apply with the current business organization code. Again, Marla's the one that discovered all of this. And then we also, and this was another thing Marla was really passionate about, that in wanting to include a dissolution clause to protect our property and secure our status as a Disciples of Christ congregation. If anything, if we were not able to maintain our status, we just wouldn't want to see something happen to this beautiful facility where it wouldn't remain in a disciples, in the disciples congregation. So that was really the precipice of all of this, and then it just kind of took on a life of its own. And we do need you to vote yes or no. We can open this for discussion, whatever y'all want to do. If any of you are brave enough to read these things, well, please feel free to give us your opinion, any suggestions, amendments, any of that. I'm going to open the floor and just ask if anyone has any questions or concerns. Yes. Okay, so you have your ballot, and you can see where that's open. I mean, we would like your vote on that. Another issue that has come up, and we've been kicking this can down the road for a couple of years now, that our Pastor Gregory was ready to retire at some point, and we kept just hanging on to him. But his family apparently has said, okay, you have a deadline because you keep not doing it, so we want you to let the church know that end of August is when he would like to be gone. Not gone from us as a family, but out of this responsibility. And I cannot tell you how much we appreciate what Gregory did in stepping in when we needed somebody and getting us through that, as we say, those couple of years that we don't talk about anymore. And just holding us together until it was time for us to go a different direction. And anybody that's been involved in the politics of churches understands how fortunate we are that we have a pastor who loves us and is leaving on his own terms. There's no animosity. He is supportive. And I just want to thank you, Gregory, for giving us that opportunity. Do you want to say anything? Okay.
Barry just said I could give a rebuttal if I needed to. I think most of you know that I've been thinking about trying to retire for a couple of years, so I hope that's not surprising to anybody. But just in case you missed that memo, it's just something that we were talking about doing for some time, and I love this church. I think you all know that. You all are the most amazing congregation of people, and you were wonderful before I got here, and I've been honored to serve this church for now over this is my 11th year, and so what I love is that our church is healthy. I don't love that it isn't growing numerically, but I love that it's spiritually healthy. This is a church that, unless you guys are hiding something from me, we don't have any hidden agendas. We don't have any conflicts. We don't have any personal animosity. There aren't any groups that are one against the other. It's a healthy, our congregation wants to bless people and wants to love each other and wants to serve. That's who we are. And I am so proud to be a part of this congregation. I want to see it continue. So what I've been saying to the board for a couple of years is, while I'm still able to get up and walk, we need to responsibly have a transition to a younger minister. It's time, and we can do this, and we're on the very best of terms as a congregation, so that we can make that decision together. So I want you to know. I mean, it's just exactly what Barry said. There aren't any hard feelings. Nobody. I love this. If I were 30, I'd be right back here. But I do think it's just time for me to not have a 7-day-a-week responsibility anymore. I need to take a little. And some of you who've retired have been my supporters and saying, "Oh yeah, you want to do this." So that's what it is. But I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I'm not. I've got some personal projects that I have planned that I'll tell you about over dinner or something sometime if you want. But that's it. Please understand, there is no problem here. Let's just do the right thing and get to the next place. And I do think we need a younger person to represent us in the community and to help turn us around so that we can be a blessing to more people and reach more people. So that's what I'm doing. Thanks, Barry.
Okay, so with that said, and with the assistance of our community regional minister, Reverend Al Walker, and in compliance with those stinking bylaws, I, as the board chair, which some of you may not even know that, I'm the board chair. I was tasked with appointing a search and call committee. And the good news is that we had lots of members interested in participating. The bad news is that it made it difficult for me to know who would best serve in that role. The other good news is that Pastor Walker reminded me that God is already working to help us find the next minister that's best suited for us, and has also helped me put together what I believe to be a broad cross-section of members to represent us in our search for the next senior pastor. This does not technically require a vote, but Reverend Walker and the committee, who I've asked to serve, felt that your buy-in and support of this committee is vitally important to the success of their mission. And I want you to know that the listening project will be an integral part of the process moving forward. So be assured that your voices truly are being heard, and that if you have not been asked to serve on that committee, thank you for your interest, and feel free to contact the folks who are serving. They are going to be open book. You go to them, they can go to you. But I feel like we've got a good representation of our congregation. So let me tell you who they are. Is it on the ballot? Okay. So I will tell you, I had one member of our congregation reach out to me, and I left my phone back there, so I'll just kind of summarize. This particular member felt like one voice that wasn't represented was the older female voice, which, if you know any of us older females in this church, we have a voice. But if that's of concern, I guess what I want to know is if anybody has concern that they're not being represented. Let me just tell you who we have and why. First of all, Maddie Howard, because she's Maddie Howard. Brittany Ritchie also has a child. I don't want to call her a child. She's not a child, but a young person in our congregation. So she represents those mothers, I feel. Tracy Stapp, who has 2 young wild children, and she represents that group. Ermias is one of our newer members, but came in so active, and he's just, kind of that middle-aged guy, whatever. So, and who else? Oh, and Tom. Mr. Tom. Yeah, he represents the old grumpy guy. Kidding. Seriously, I do feel like those are folks that any of you can reach out to and feel represented. But if there's any discussion, let's just do it now. Yes. Okay, 2 for 2. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Marla, for just staying on us and getting through this stuff. And yes.
I really appreciate what we're doing, especially to protect the church. I was a member in the Rio Grande Valley in West Laco, and we did not have any preparation. The church had an independent minister.
Mic check.
And began to teach things against the organization, and the church began to lean more independently. Then someone else came from another Disciple of Christ church. The church was split. I just went back to West Laco in the summer, and there is no more Disciples of Christ church in West Laco. So I think that it is really good that we are doing what we're doing in preparation. And I also, while I have the floor, I want to give thanks to our pastor also. Greatly appreciate him for his wisdom, his support, solidarity with this congregation. And I like to see, what I see there on the list, and I appreciate you for guiding us in this meeting. So I thank God for being with us. Praise the Lord.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the validation. And truly, sometimes I get a little down because I sit on the finance committee and it's a little daunting. And again, I just keep looking at Marla. She just keeps telling me, Barry, this isn't on us. This is God's deal. And we're going to get this thing where we want it. And it just, when I walked in this morning and everybody was standing back there milling around and seeing some kids here again and all the things, gosh, I love y'all so much. And I know you love each other so much. So thank you. Thank you for what you all do.